today is going to be our first episode of Thirsty Thursday.
Are we calling it Thirsty Thursday, or are we calling it Tipsy Tuesday?
Slash and or Tipsy Tuesday. We're going to do it both ways for now so we can edit it in to what the name will be because we won't know until tomorrow. So today we are going to be reviewing, what is this, Martin?
Not Your Father's Root.
Yes.
We discovered this a couple of months ago and have been drinking it pretty regularly, I'd say. Not saying that we're alkies or anything.
In
but
all honesty,
this is by far probably the greatest thing I've had in a long time.
we're going to go ahead and start off and say that the drinkability of this beer is a 8.5 to 9 out of 10, and we will go into depth as to why we rated it as an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10 as drinkability. But let's go ahead and get into it. What is this exactly?
It's a beer that tastes exactly like root beer.
If you are not 21 and you still want to watch this video, by all means have at it.
Sure.
Be responsible.
Because neither of us ever drank prior to 21.
Yeah. No.
Neither.
Not at all. Not even a sip. Be responsible. Do not drink and drive. Even if you are older than 21, if you're 65 watching this, don't. Where is it bottled?
The company itself is a small town brewery, bottled out of Chicago, or the Illinois Chicagoland area. These apparently have not been out too terribly long. We've just discovered them in the last couple of months, and apparently
literally the last 2 months.
Because of the demand for these, they've started shipping them across the country, which is fantastic. It's not labeled at all on the website for where to find it, because even our area that we know we've found it, obviously, it's not listed. So small town brewery, if you do see this, you have made it to Louisiana, and yes. I thank you for that.
If you do live in our area and you want to know where we bought this at, leave a comment and just be like, hey, where did you get this? And we will tell you. Yeah, we'll tell you every.
Welcome to Louisiana.
So we're gonna go ahead and get into a little bit of the history of the beer, which also ties into the design of the bottle, which is like their label. Not like the actual like full-fledged label, which it does tie in, but like this part, I always thought this like boat was cool, but now that I know what the history is, Tim Kovac, the founder of Small Town Brewery, I'm assuming, his great-great-grandfather was the captain of some ships in England, and he was a bit of a gambler. He won a brewery, legend has it, in a card game, and started brewing beer on the ships.
So I'm guessing it's a homage to his great-great-grandfather.
It is. I'm going to guess that this is the ship, and this man right here is his great-grandfather, which is pretty freaking cool.
Anyway, so.
Honestly, when I saw this beer, I was like, that stuff looks awesome. It does. It looks really cool. The label's awesome. Everything.
They come out with a couple of different versions of this. 5.9% alcohol by volume is available everywhere. They've pushed out a limited edition seasonal, they call it the Bomber. Which is a 10.7 alcohol by volume. And it's in a 22-ounce bottle.
Ounces.
So, these are awesome. 6-packs are around about $10. And those last you pretty well, because I think even in bottles and in cans, I think the cans come in 12 packs for the same price.
I don't know. I haven't necessarily looked at the cans. All we've got are the bottles, because the bottles were the first thing to hit us. Mm-hmm. Bottles were the first thing to find. I don't know about cans. I don't know how many are in a pack exactly, and I don't know the exact price, but something tells me that if there are 6 in a pack or a 6 in a case of it, it's going to be about the $10. If there's 12 in a case, it's going to be about
probably 18.
Probably something close to that. So it is a little bit more expensive than your average like beer.
If you're in the Illinois area, though, these are available on draft.
At
in
the
the
brewery.
Illinois area or around the brewery. I'm not sure if they're at the brewery.
Well, the brewery does, however, have a limited edition apple pie flavor.
Not your mama's apple pie.
Yes. And if that were to be bottled and shipped
Bottle it and
here,
ship it.
I would drink it. I really would. So according to MyFitnessPal, we couldn't find anything on the Not Your Father's website or on their bottle. But according to MyFitnessPal on Google, of all things,
which it may be on the case itself.
It may be.
Maybe
I don't
on the
remember.
case.
We threw the case away.
Yep.
Calories, it's saying about 177 calories. So it's not necessarily a light beer, but it's also not like a super high calorie beer. And what surprised me that I think might be wrong is that it has 0 sugar. And if you were to taste this, it tastes like there could possibly be a pound of sugar in it.
It may just be the incredible mix of spices that they put
Yeah,
into
it could be, but
and
it's
that's what gives the illusion of it being sweet, because it is a very sweet, it's almost a syrup.
Yes.
It feels more or less like a syrup.
Yeah.
And it's
there.
awesome.
It's packing.
It's probably the best tasting beer I've had. And
as far as like craft beer goes, this is the one that like can appeal to anyone.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring us into
pros and cons.
Pros and cons.
We do say this is an 8.5 to 9 drinkability
because
factor,
of this.
because it is a very sweet
First
beer.
pro number 1, tastes like soda. We covered that earlier. Tastes like you just popped open a can of root beer. Everyone we've had try one and sip it, they're like, this doesn't even taste like beer. Literally, like the first little bit that you're drinking it tastes like a root beer, and then towards the end you're like, okay, there might be some beer there because that 5.9 alcohol volume, which is kind of why a pro is that it has a higher alcohol volume. So if you're looking for just like something to sip on at the end of a day and just kind of hang out, you don't want to drink a ton, you don't want, but you still want to, kind of loosen up a bit, relax.
Yeah. It appeals to the non-beer drinker.
It appeals to the non-beer drinker, but it has a high alcohol volume, so therefore you're not throwing back a case of beer. You're drinking one beer, and you're still able to get that like slight buzz going, but you're still okay. You're not like plastered or anything.
Very social beer.
Very social beer. Very social beer. I mean, I would suggest sipping it, but it's hard to sip it because you really just want to chug it.
Big cons, though, for me especially, very sweet
Very
beer.
sweet.
So the drinkability factor of trying to drink more than one.
Don't do it. You'll get a stomachache. Like even like whenever you reach like this bottom portion right here where it starts to kind of get lukewarm on you, and you typically either chug your beer or you just go grab another one. By the time you reach this point, this little bit right here, you're already developing a slight stomachache, and you're like, all right, I gotta finish this. After that, no more of this. You can
still absolutely worth it because it's the taste itself. Is beyond anything I've ever tried before.
Another pro, you can make floats out of these. You can make root beer floats, like an adult root beer float. We haven't tried it yet because I'm still waiting for Bluebell to make its way back to us because it's my favorite plain vanilla ice cream. But you can use this and pour it over a glass with some ice cream, and it's supposed to be amazing. And I want to say you can get it that way at the brewery as well. I want to say they offer it that way at the brewery. I've read something about it. I want to say it was on their Twitter. Don't quote me on it.
This is more or less a pet peeve of ours because we do
travel
and do social events with it, is that it is a traditional pop top. It's not a twist top.
It's not twist top.
Don't change that And I don't really want to say that's a con.
I don't want to say it's a con, but it's not necessarily a
hey,
pro.
if you're picking these up, make sure that you
Yeah,
have a
if
bottle
you don't
opener.
have access to a can, like a bottle opener or something, it's going to be an inconvenience. That's kind of what we run into, is that we forget to bring a bottle opener, and we're so used to twist top.
I bought one for my wallet.
Yeah.
So thanks, Small Town Brewery, for
Yes.
making me spend a little bit more money on a bottle opener.
Yeah, and like we said, another con, don't throw these back. I mean, if you can and you want to, by all means, that's on you. But I would not suggest trying to throw these back and drink as much as you can.
These are meant to be very cold.
Yes.
Like every beer.
But like a
these
root beer.
This isn't international where you can drink it lukewarm.
No.
This is full on America. You drink these
Drink
cold.
it
And these
cold.
are fantastic.
I highly
I've
suggest.
even tried over ice
Yeah.
and in frosted glasses, which are great.
I highly suggest the way I like to drink my beer or anything malt beveragey, specifically beer, is in an ice chest. I highly suggest, if you're gonna drink one of these and you can, toss it in an ice chest. Like, even if you're at home and you're like, I want to drink some Not Your Father's root beer, like, get some ice and just shove it down in there. Like, shove it in your ice maker.
We end up putting it in the ice maker.
Yeah, shove it in your ice maker. The colder it is, honestly, the better. And I think on their website they suggest serving it between 38,
Negative 50 degrees and
38
32 degrees.
Negative 50 degrees?
Negative 50 degrees.
I thought it said 30 to
No.
50.
32 degrees to 50 degrees.
I want to say it's 38 to 50. It's pulled up right here. Go ahead and check it real quick. I want to say it's 38 to 50. Which I might be wrong, but 38 sounds like a weird number, but it stuck out.
38 to 50.
38 to 50! It's available year round. It just depends on if it's like
In your area.
That's the one thing that we came into a problem with. We recently traveled up to the northeast
part of
Texas,
Texas.
Texarkana area. It had not yet reached them, and we had family up there who we wanted to try it, but couldn't try it because it hadn't gotten there yet.
But apparently every one of their local
had tried to order it,
have ordered
but
it,
it's hard
and
to
they're
get
asking
it.
for it.
It's hard to
was
get it.
incredibly surprising for me that our area got it.
Yes.
But I'm absolutely
Our
crazy
area
about
is
this
currently
beer.
flooded with it. Like I said, we will, if you want to know where it's at, just ask us and we'll kind of tell you. If you haven't already seen it, if you have, grab it. Like,
It's worth it.
swoop it up. If you don't like it and you're like, oh my goodness, y'all told me this was so great and I don't like it, send it to us. We'll take it.
Yep.
We'll take it. We'll gladly drink it.
But I haven't seen very many of these reviews out there. We figured we'd stop and do this.
And this is
one
going to
in
be
particular.
a weekly thing. This is episode 1. So from now on, either on Tuesdays or Thursdays, depending on what the name of it's going to be or what day we decide to film it, every Tuesday or Thursday, we're going to be reviewing a different craft beer, a different mainstream beer. It can be wine, it could be a hard liquor, it could be like whiskey, it could be a vodka, a gin, a scotch, it could be tequila. We're going to try and taste test as much as we possibly can, which we do have a lot of stuff for the first few weeks, like kind of backlog that we've already tried, like odd flavored vodkas. Like, we have some stuff backlogged that we're going to try and cover first before we really start trying to purchase new things.
But by all means, please, if y'all have suggestions, send them
If you have something that you've seen in the store,
I'll absolutely love to.
yeah, or online, and you're like, I don't know if I want to buy this or not and try it, it might be nasty, you can ask us. We're not really picky on some things, but we will be honest with you on how we think it tastes, which is why we rated this an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. It would be a full 10. Honestly, I would love to rate a full 10, but just because of it being so sweet.
There may be something we come across that we like more.
Just because of it being so sweet. Some people may not like that. A lot of big beer drinkers might be like, oh, it's too sweet.
Yeah.
But this is our take on the Not Your Father's root beer. Comment, like, subscribe, share, because if you don't share this, you're probably depriving people of an amazing beer. Is that it?
I think so.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. No. Alcohol? How babies happen. Are you gonna sit down so we can do this? Oh man.
Another fight, ladies and germs. Another fight.
Are you gonna sit like that this whole time?
Probably.
I'll sit like this. Y-M-C-A.
I'm not part of the village, people. Yeah.
Alright, so
I'm just not hot enough.
can you please turn off the S-Pen? My God.
Sorry.
Alright.